let go of the past, and manifest the reality you desire. It's time to expand your consciousness and create a new enlightened transformational you by raising your vibrational frequency. We will talk about ETs, light ships, the ascending human, our ascending planet, visitations, and first conscious contact upon our new fifth dimensional Earth. Welcome to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. It's time to activate a better you by embracing the white light of Source. Now your host and universal guide, Joanna L. Ross.
Good morning. This is Joanna from Universal Unity and the Universal Light Wisdom and Healing Centers. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I think it's show number 96 and a beautiful, gorgeous December 2nd. We've got a beautiful sunny sky and a bit of chill in the air. And we are approaching a beautiful full moon tomorrow night. And this full moon is, as it has been over the last 6 to 8 months, really. I mean, for quite some time, if you want to be, truthful about it. The alignments and the celestial alignments and the deep space alignments and what's coming forth from the central sun and central source creator has been nothing short of profound in every celestial alignment that we are embarking and allowing to soak within and move within. And tomorrow's full moon is nothing short of that. December, in and of itself, has profound alignments numerologically, astrologically, as well as the deep space alignments. And I will post it on our Facebook page after the show today of the 3 various articles that I've read about the coming shifts in December, but also what I've felt intuitively over the last couple of months since coming back from Peru, really. My teams have been showing me and giving me the demarcations of the 20th and the 21st of every month as profound demarcations, spiraling in new light field potentiations for the human collective. And why we feel with not only the full moon, and it's a full moon in Gemini, which is an air sign, allowing us to truly, and we see this more and more, moment for moment, those that are allowing themselves to soak within the inner beauty of all that they are, to see the transitionings and how beautiful the lotus petal of all that we are, this beautiful divine inner temple of light and inner flower of love that we are, and this flower of life that we are. Every petal unveiling, every moment that comes forward and lives through us, we see them as transition and transcension moments. And not really allowing it to create the perspective of what's going to happen next or allowing our expectations to be driven by it, but just to simply allow and be in that space of allowance, to be in that space of unity and oneness with it, in that eternal state of allness. Because we can sense now that all things unfolding are truly symbolic to usher us into something entirely new in every way. Every stone upon this planet will feel the shiftings and will feel the culminations of unconditional love being sent forth from the center force of our omnipresence. And so we see that every moment for moment is symbolic of our transcending, transitioning, traversing new dynamic light potentials of what we are becoming, and how exciting that is, and how we can create the new perspectives in every moment when we pull ourselves away from social media, or we pull ourselves away from what's called news, if you will, and allowing ourselves to truly sit within the creational opportunities and potentials that each and every one of us have in the now eternal moment, to create and shift our reality perspective so profoundly, so unmistakably, that it can be felt within minutes and seconds and hours. That's how profound our creational abilities are, our creational potentials are. And we're being shown, and we're showing ourselves in our masterful unfolding, that in these new moons and in these celestial alignments and in the coming months in 2018, as we usher ourselves into unprecedented change and transitions for the human collective, how these alignments are the stirrings of eons of limitation and density, that we've all co-created these beautiful stories to see how truly we can traverse polarity and duality. For if we did not have any semblance of duality and polarity, we would only have that one perspective. And that's not what creation is about. That's not what evolution is about. All is well. We allow ourselves the depths of difference, diversity, polarity, duality, light and dark, however it may be described or defined, it does not matter. We allow ourselves these moments of disclosure. We're disclosing ourselves to ourselves in every moment, are we not? Whether it's through our socioeconomic system, whether it's through our daily social unraveling of family and social life before our very eyes, and we're going moment for moment for moment. I'm not sure how this is going to unfold, but here we go. And I have 3 children, and I feel like that most often. And I'm trying to traverse these new fields of dynamic, unique potentiality of liberation and crystalline light fields and the crystalline embodiment that my children encase, and allowing them to be these free flying and free evolving and free creating beings, and yet moving within the sanctum that I am still a parent and a guardian, and I still have to create some boundaries and rules for their unfolding to be fully flourished in healthy and wellness ways and balanced ways. And I've gone through my entire evolution of parenting. It feels as if the last 3 months have kind of been thrashing through me as far as my parenting decisions, and I've had to rework my entire schematic of what I thought to be true about parenting. And so our topic today is to soak within a few dynamic and loving perspectives of what we all exist within in all moments. And it's called the eternal oneness of now, the eternal now presence. That's our main priority topic for today, because it's going to allow us to soak within the beauty and the elegance of our second hour topic, which is going to have more to do with multidimensional parenting and how we truly traverse these transitional dynamic energies that will be continuing through 2018. Make no mistake about that. And how we can truly soak within this essence of self-clarity and self-knowing, and just soak within the perfection of all that you are in every now moment, your eternal state of now, your eternal state of perfection. And know that as we go within and create these moments of now, create these moments of eternal perfection and unconditional love, the all unfolds quite fluidically and seamlessly and perfectly. And it's in that allowance to allow yourself to be perfect in this now moment, to allow yourself to gift yourself the knowing that all is well. My higher self is unfolding incredible synchronicities for me, and I trust that. I'm entangled and threaded with God in all things, and I trust that. I have a divine soul blueprint and unfolds perfectly in every moment of now. I trust that. In all moments of God creation, I trust. Even in those moments of challenge or shifting between releasing limiting beliefs, and I'm going through that right now with my family, and I'm going through parenting decisions where I'm letting go of limiting beliefs and I'm creating this open field in which we can all co-create together and in a more seamless way, as opposed to continuing with one foot in the old energy and most of the body in the new energy. And many people, that's what it seemed like over the past 6 months. But 2018 will be more of that. 2018 will be truly getting to the inner truth and your authenticity of who you are. And within the eternal now moment, you can see that you're always redefining the all that you are. Setting new boundaries, allowing yourself to see, well, how do I feel about this now? It's different than how I felt then, because now I'm a new person. Now I'm a new perfect me. I'm okay with my perfection right now. All moments I'm perfect. And letting go what anyone think must or expect to be unfolding in or look like. And as parents, we often have those expectations, how things should flow and unfold. And truly, multidimensional parenting is to let go of the expectations and truly live within the now moment of an open heart and compassion, and speak from your authentic love in your oneness, your eternal oneness with all of those that you are encircled with, all those. Even if there may be disagreements and arguments, there is still eternal oneness in that moment. But it takes that masterful moment to sit back and reflect and breathe and create that centered point of balance to honor that oneness before reacting, before shifting out of that balanced state of love, and then the ego mind kicks in because it's reactive. And so ascension and transcension, transitions of energies at a socioeconomic level, at a collective social level, at a planetary level, there will be changes in every way. The oceans and the grounds will shift. And all is well. Allow each moment to be perfection. Allow each breath to give you solitude and centeredness. And release the fear and the worry of what one thing means. Because it's different for each and every one of us. And each and every one of us are on a different soul path and soul plan. And that is our eternal oneness. In any now moment, we are one with one another. We can feel the profound heart threadings from one another in gifting of grace and gifting of compassion and love and honor of each one's path to be what it is. For it is in those paths and in those reflections, dear lighted ones, in which we allow ourselves to see the grand diversity and love that God has in all things, in all moments, in all life, in all aspects of Gaia. And so this beautiful full moon allows us to remember our fluidity with air. And we often, like as metaphysicians and as beautiful energetic beings that we are, we're made of spirit and matter and consciousness and air and water and fire and the passion of love that Mother, Father, God gifted us this life within. And all that is alchemic. The fire and the wick of the candle and the wax and the flame that lights it aglow. We are all things. And in all moments of these celestial alignments, we're gifted various aspects of alchemy so that we can remember who we are in all ways, in all states, in all particles of life. This being the Gemini full moon. Every full moon, every solstice, every new moon offers us something different, different particles, different perspectives, different crystalline versions for us to go within and love it a little more and allow us to flow within it and be it in that one eternal moment. And to create the similitude and the solitude within these special alignments so that you can maintain and sustain centeredness and balance within who you are in every new now moment. And that's one of the most profound ascension experiences that each and every one of us have if we can attune to it. In each now moment, let go of all definitions you had about thyself and allow it to be eternal and infinite. And that allows you to slip into the next new moment, the unknown, with fluidity, with air-like quality, as you transcend and form and shift, and you shape-shift with the coming energies, and you shape-shift within love and compassion and oneness in your eternal state of presence within the all. And that's truly what our human collective is being gifted through all of these ascension years that we've been on this path as a collective, as an awakening human body, as a human family awakening into our grander, more expansive, eternal state. We're seeing all aspects of our social paradigms come forward to us because our consciousness has risen to know that ways in which we have behaved are not okay anymore, and we choose change. We choose an expanded, unified way and harmonic way to behave with one another. We then create harmonic ways of creating those energetic fields in which all businesses and all trade and all aspects of monetary base, if you will, what we know it to be, can come forward in new dynamics of co-creation from those light fields of consciousness that we have set from our hearts to say we're no longer moving within these energies of limitation, of what our monetary system has been based upon. We choose to move in a different way now. And in all aspects of our human collective, we're traversing new beginnings. Our families, our paradigms, and all that we have known has changed and transitioned, traversing the new in every moment. And in all ways that we traverse the new, we're constantly redefining who we are. The boundaries that you had set a year ago are not the same, for you're a different person. The rules within your family have changed because you're a different person, and so too are they. They've grown, they've changed, they've shifted. They're creatively exploring, they're blooming, they're flourishing. All things within any dynamic that we have existed within is being brought forward for us to love and see our eternal oneness within it and allow the light to create something new within it. And that's the air quality. The fire is the passion. The fire is that ignition to create change. That fire is that essence to say, this is who I am. I stand within the essence of all my God essence. I am perfect in this moment of now. And I surrender is an air quality. For you surrender into the fluidity of all things that are consciousness and movement of love and light. All is well. And it's within that centeredness, that knowing, that inner knowing, for you've done the work. Who am I? What do I exist within, and what exists within me? And in every new moment, you see the symbolisms coming forward to you. This is changing. Are you okay with it? Who are you in this now moment? Are you sensing your eternal state of creatorship? And in moments of profound healing, we have the Akashic triggers and those around us playing with us in our soul stories and our soul contracts and our blueprints, showing us that there's still things that we need to love unconditionally and bring it in. For I held limitation about you, about me, about this co-creation, and I truly do choose to live in fluidity and light. For I understand that in breath is God. In breath is all things. And what we'll do at the bottom of this hour, just before we go for a break, is we'll do a visualization to allow you to remember your eternal state of oneness in the consciousness of the all. This beautiful webbing that we all exist within. We just define it within our earthly reality in this moment. But we actually exist within the omnipresence of the all. And you can tap in and pull from any aspect of the all that you so desire. And that's what we're awakening into. Our playground and our playing field and the buffet and the palette that we have to choose from is so grand right now. And that's part of the unknown. What do I pull from it? So there might be confusion. There might be so much choice to create that it can cause some to be feeling as if they're in a spiral. They can't quite ground themselves. So we'll do a visualization to feel the energy with Gaia, to truly ground and breathe with her, and center yourself with her, so that you can remember that your eternal state is held within breath. Your eternal potentiality and your infinite abilities and skills that you're pulling on from those soul threads from all other sparks and particles and aspects of you from any other dimension and star system you so desire. And most often than not, you won't necessarily know who or where or what particle of you it comes from, but it just shows up exactly when you need it and how you need it. That's the divine creator that you are in this eternal now moment. All now is working in this now moment to bring you exactly what you need when you need it. So that you may relax and just breathe. All is well and all is perfect. I am perfect in this now moment. Nothing else needs to be done. And when we approach these beautiful alignments, full moons and equinoxes, and we also have an equinox coming up this month on the 21st, a beautiful celebration that we're going to create. It will probably be a 2-hour, possibly even longer, because I am going to introduce some healing light, color, and tonal healing experiences that I have been moving through that are quite exciting. And I'm going to offer it to those who so desire to entangle and dance with us on that beautiful winter solstice. And it's truly a clearing of the divine inner temple of all that we are as light beings, as emanating beings. We're gifting and receiving information and energy 24/7. It never stops. And it's really important, as we've talked about in many, many other shows, to continue maintenance and sustenance of health and wellness and well-being within your multidimensional bodies. To create regular clearing of your fields, centering and balance and breath, and getting connected with the multidimensional fields and how it feels when it feels clear and light and fluid like the air. And you can sense the difference, and you can attune to the differences when you're doing this on a regular basis. And it really can allow yourself to be in those surrender moments and traverse in the moment of now and to have all be okay. And you let go of all the fear or the worry about what we're supposed to try and figure out, and it's really not. It's really not our role to figure anything out. Our creative intuitions, our creative excitements, our creative inspirations will be the ignition on the soul path that we're here to continue. And those excitements can be in a myriad of different energetic symbols or potentials. If one is a healer and they get an excitement and a soul threading or an inspiration to try something that has to do with pottery or handwork, have that be okay and have that excitement lead you into that soul path. Because that exploration and that trusting of that soul threading and that trusting of your soul divine unfolding, how your higher self is creating these synchronicities and these opportunities, and your celestial teams working with you, and the divine Mother, Father, God, the encodations and the empowerment, encouragement from within your divine sacred heart and the partnership they offer with you in all things, always. Never holding anything back, allowing you to be within the all, your eternalness. These inspirings and these transitional phases that we're all going through bring to us opportunities that seem or appear to be out of the blue or out of left field. It might not have anything to do with what you think you might be interested in, or what you thought you were interested in, or what you have defined yourself to be. For remember, we're allowing ourselves to be eternal in every now moment. And eternal is eternal, all things. For the very act of allowing yourself to trust all that you are and take joyful action on those synchronicities, joyful action on those and beautiful opportunities that you've created for yourself, further substantiate the inner knowing of all that you are. I trust that. I'm going to go with this. It feels good. It feels right. I'm not sure where it's going to lead, but I'm just going to do it. It feels good. And a skill from another lifetime or a skill from another dimensional frequency comes forward through that trusting and that surrender. And it's offered to us in all moments. It just comes in different packages. It comes in different vibrational opportunities. Could be through a meeting of another person, through a person, of a friend, of a family. It could be the letting go of a relationship that has been challenging, or that's just had its time and it's ready to be let go into other new fields of play. These are the transitions that we will continue for its eternal state of growth, eternal state of our allness. And so letting go of definitions and how it should look or what it should be like or feel like, or what the path should unfold into, letting go of all preconceived notions and soak within the beauty and the true elegance of this God now moment. And that's when creation truly lives through the divine sacred heart of all that you are, and you can feel every color elegantly dancing through you, creating new life, creating new potentiation, creating new inventiveness, creating new relationship potentials. Because as you change in every moment, you quantumly create your reality in every way. So too do all the beings quantumly recreate themselves in every way. As you change, they change. It's all shifting. It's the canvas that we have been traversing, dear lighted ones. However, now we are more aware of it. Now we are attuning to the symbolisms. Now we are tuning to the various words that are spoken, that have a story underlining and a healing that is required. And I had an experience with my daughter yesterday, and a simple sentence was heard. And in that very moment, I acknowledged the healing from an Akash experience that we had had together that was required to be healed from that one sentence. And so the attunements of things that are being said and interactions and the coalescing of quantum energies between you and all aspects of life around you, and that all that you exist within, all that exists within you, and all that you are is a constant transitioning eternal state of now perfection. And it doesn't have to be defined as good or bad or otherwise, because it's all now eternal. It's all valid. It's all required for the diversity and the beauty that is God. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? And I can speak of this because I know. Gifted myself so many definitions and limitations in every way. Felt the Akashic triggers from so many lifetimes and so many star systems. Feeling and sensing the responsibility of so much. Held myself in such knotted energies within my body, constantly feeling as if I'm a knot. And truly understanding who I am as the divine temple of light, and how to create beautiful, elegant, lighted management flow through breath, through surrender, through allowance, remembering the multidimensional body and beauty that I am as light, so that I may choose to operate and behave and create in different ways. So that when things get said and triggered, and I traverse a new field of play, then I can go into it with pure surrender and elegance, knowing that I'm eternal. I'm allowing myself to traverse new things with my family that have never been traversed before, because we are all each unique quantum energies in that moment. Each one of us within our family are seeing our unique reality within our own unique dimensional eyes and perspectives and soul themes. For my soul themes are not my family's soul themes. However, we have co-created and sewn together our contract so that we may teach and gift and learn and give and receive. And the more that we are in allowance of this, the more air-like and fluidic our lives become. And you let go of all the restrictions, how anyone thinks should look or feel or be like. For these are new grounds. Every new moment is new ground. And Gaia is letting us know, is she not? Our ability to balance and center within our beauty allows her to balance and center within her beauty. Remember, as within, so without. All that we see as she is, so too are we. And she is moving through her own rebalancing, shifting, remodulation, recalibration, realignment. For how can it be otherwise? With a beautiful human and earthly collective awakening. And each and every one of us coming to a new expanded state of truth, our own inner truth of who we are and what we exist within and what exists within us. So too that everything in our reality will shift and change within it. Banking, education, medical, all things. For we have desired it from within the heart of all that we are, and we sent out that clarion call eons ago. The collective of the human desires to live in liberation and oneness and harmony and peace, hand in hand, as we stand in partnership of love, to know our collective and our universal unity within all things. To know that we are eternal and we can expand and extend our lifespan beyond what we ever thought. For we understand that we are temples of light. We understand that we are consciousness and movement. We understand that we are divine adoration from Mother, Father, God, and as we link into the divine essence of light, through breath, through love, through will, through intent, Through understanding who you are as a mechanism of light, therefore we will move forward in fluidic movement as light. And we co-create as light. We co-create as these lovey beings and vessels, ever changing, ever moving. We understand what it takes to bring balance and healing to the mental body, to the etheric body, to the emotional body, to the physical body. Our bodies will show us new foods to eat. We will invent and create new ways to grow food. We will create cleaner air systems and water systems. We will speak with the land and the soils and the rocks and the flora and the fauna. For there is much wisdom in all things, dear lighted ones. And the human story, and the new page that we are all writing our stories upon, are changing. And we're all flipping a page onto a new blank canvas for us to co-create. And those ever-shifting moments show us how eternal we truly are, and how one we truly are. For in all transitions and all unknowns, there is God. For in all transitions and all unknowns, there is love. And that's enough. How beautiful is that? And I gifted that to myself. Thank you, dear lighted ones. For I've been moving through my own transitioning, and I've been moving through my own sensing of new ground. And I'm allowing myself to truly come within moment for moment space and essence within myself, my perfection within all moments of now, and having it be enough. And the perfection of God in this moment of now is enough. The perfection of love in this moment of now is enough. And I can let go of having to do or be responsible or having to get any more done or what I thought my role was and all of these agendas, because there's a grander plan. And if I flow within the moment of my perfection in this now moment, all will be perfectly as it will be. And again, that's releasing the control and the expectations and all of those human limitations that we've all co-created. And each and every one of you will be different. And this is what's so powerful about these times. And we've talked about the number 11. We just shifted out of the number 11 month and bringing things to a resolve and bringing things to a beautiful sense of completion and celebration about who you are. And December is no different. December is offering us new energies for us to see our eternalness in new ways and new perspectives. For that is what eternal is. Allowing yourself to know, feel, sense, hear, be, emanate, receive, give, all that you are in new ways. That's how eternal you are. You will feel yourself as you walk upon Gaia in new ways. You will feel as if you are merging and melding with her, as if a beautiful cosmic fire of light, as if you're not really walking at all, you're just kind of floating and just with her. That's the consciousness web that's around us at all times. Unconditional love. Unbiased, co-creative potentialities. And that's what came to me in my meditations this week. Unbiased co-creations. The all is offered to you. And through you. And so how may you soak within this now moment of perfection in all your God essence? And truly fall in love with how eternal you are. And all unfoldings are eternally perfect. And when you can open up your divine sacred heart and allow every moment to be perfect in your godliness, all moments are perfect. You are perfect. Right here, right now. And that's flowing like air, allowing the air to live through you. The breath of life to live through you. The encodations of God to live through you. You're not resisting it. You're not compacting it, compressing it, resisting or allowing it to be depressed in any way. Just come forward and play. I own you. You are a part of me. I desire to create wholeness and oneness with you. My eternal state of now, my eternal state of oneness with you, Come forward and speak to me. What lesson do you have? I'm ready. You're part of me. I claim this birthright to know that I am a master to create wholeness with it. And allow you to be transformed and changed within my light and compassion of all that I am right now. For there is perfection in this moment, for me to see my own duality, for me to tangle and dance with my own polarity. Give myself love and compassion in this now moment. It's all perfect. This moment of eternal perfection and now with God allows all that you are to open up and be the vessel, to be the chalice, if you will, the sacred chalice, in which all divine godly emanations live through you, cleansed through every chakra, cleansed through every energetic mechanism that you are, that you offer. That's the surrender of your perfection. And so before we take a break, dear lighted ones, I wanted us to do a beautiful visualization to allow you to soak within the eternal state of you, your eternal perfection of you, and allow yourself to feel and sense and know in every way how multidimensional, how eternal, how infinite, how creatorhood that you are in your masterful moments. And it's in this oneness, it's in this allowance of your ability to let yourself swim in your own perfection, swim within your own eternal state of allness. That's the dance with Mother, Father, God. And when you connect and entwine and entangle and thread yourself with this eternal state of being, all moments are perfect. For all moments have a purpose, do they not? This now moment. To create peace within the etheric chamber so that our hearts beat as one. So that within this now moment, the feet of all beings upon planet Gaia feel the awakened state of love and communion within our co-creations with one another. And how your feet have portals of light and vortices, and your hands and your fingers, and your eyes and your ears, and all that you are is a multidimensional being, vortices and energy systems within you, beyond what you can imagine, interacting and engaging with consciousness and life, with your eternalness, with you and God, in all things. And how breath filling the cavity of all that you are as a multidimensional being of divine living light, allowing you to sense your presence within it all. And how that all can be a void, how that all can be the most beautiful silence and stillness. And every breath threads you together like that golden threading with Mother, Father, God, like the wick of a candle. And how those threads are spiraling together and spinning as one. Encapsulated by the wax and the beautiful essence that it is. And all of creation that it sits within. And how the beautiful essence of all that you are as a divine temple of light, no different, that pillar of light running along the spine of your back, grounding within the sands and soils of Gaia to her very heartbeat. And that pillar of light is the wick, spiraling and threading golden threads of all that you are, your balanced energy systems of male and female energies, male and female experiences, male and female roles that you have played, the dynamic forms that you have taken in every earthly lifetime that you have come forward to create and co-create. And how you feel yourself grounding within the sands and soils of Gaia, and you feel her soothing resonance beating with you as your heart beats, as you create new breath with her. And you feel from the very crystalline of her heartbeat, with a soft and beautiful intention, within this next in-breath and this next inhale, you create the consciousness threading with her and feel her energies with you on your inhale. And as you intend to flow with Gaia on her energies, as it's moving through your chakra systems: red, orange, yellow, pink, blue, indigo, violet. Those energies cleanse, they ignite, they create the fire, the alchemy, through which you come to life because you are a multidimensional being of spirit and matter and consciousness and water and air. And all that is alchemic, moving within breath, that you ignite through your intent. Cleansing and bringing similitude to your energy systems. And how your root chakra grounds you in all of its beautiful color. And it's cleansed within its beautiful red tones and hues. Clearing and cleansing within every new breath that you ignite with Gaia. Grounding within her heartbeat. Creating oneness and similitude within the crystalline grids. And your healings begin. And your next inhale, you go within this beautiful breath and cleanse through your orange energy system, allowing you to create safety and intimacy in all relationships, the safety within your body, the safety within your human experience, within these two lower chakras, and how any and all things that occur in your daily life that you show yourself as symbolic moments to heal, to love, to bring in unity. You understand that you are a rainbow of light and can transcend and gift it love and compassion and heal it and create wholeness within you, within creation, within the all, for you are eternal. You are one with God in all things. And as you transcend every moment in the beautiful inhales of color and light and atonement, creating the omnipresence, your oneness with your divine higher self, and you exhale, dropping to your divine sacred heart in oneness with Mother, Father, God. You create a moment of stillness and silence so that you may awaken to a deeper essence of your presence in your eternal state, your eternal oneness. Within all of creation, your heartbeat is felt. Within all of creation, the colors that you emit, the light thought forms that you emit, your perfection of this now moment, of being blended with Mother, Father in this now moment. So eternally perfect. And as you place your hand up to creation, as a mudra of intent to co-create, to allow the universal energies to flow through the portals of the hands and the fingertips as you feel them vibrating with the beautiful angelic essence and the archangels and the spirit guides and the beings of light that assist us in our healings in every moment. Your consciousness and your awareness of the fields that you exist within come to life in new ways. Your eternal you, awakening you in new ways. For before you used to feel the tingling just within the center of your palms, and now the tingling is everywhere. You are awakening, you are alive. Your multidimensional body is showing you. And the purity of your divine heart in any one moment, that you open to the divine in the all. That you, as a divine eternal being of God, be offered to the all, and all is well, all is perfect. For that's all that's required, dear lighted ones, in any one moment. To be centered and still within your love, to be centered and still within the compassion of all that you are, and all is perfect. And all synchronicities to create, all excitements and all inspirations will be threaded to you as you allow your eternal perfection come forward and play and have that be enough for its perfection, beyond explanation, beyond description, but you will feel it in every way. You'll feel the energetic shift when you talk to those that perhaps you've had challenging relationships with. And you drop to your divine sacred heart and you thread yourself with Mother, Father, God as the beautiful threads that you are. And you feel your threading grounding with the heart essence of Mother Gaia. And you call forward your most dynamic, loving, compassionate self, and you just open yourself through the all. Let go of all expectations and surrender the outcome. All is well, all is perfect. All is divine. And in moments of profound remembrance of who you are in your eternal state of allness, it feels familiar. You get those quantum clicks that we've talked about so many times in these beautiful sacred soul tribe gatherings. And the etheric chambers and all your celestial teams and all your celestial family and star family from across the cosmos and those within your human family here and their higher selves coming to entangle in etheric form. For they understand your dance and they're here to support you and encourage you and empower you, for you understand you're one with them. You are eternal with them, are you not? And as we gather week after week after week, we allow ourselves to engage in new human ways and behave in new human ways that we've never done before. We take ourselves to new places. We explore new light fields. We allow ourselves to open within the infinite, within the eternal perfection that already is. And it's in this sacred soul tribe, it's within the sacred sharings that we feel those quantum remembrances of familiarity, in which our soul threadings through any ancient lifetime in any star system or in any entanglement that we have had with one another ignites and just feels so beautiful and so right. And we remember one another. God particles speaking with God particles. Quantum vibrations of light through creation in this now moment of eternal perfection. And how this now moment, dear lighted ones, as we tune into the etheric chambers, thank you, dear lighted ones coming forward from the angels of tone. It's in these moments of eternal now, dear lighted ones, in which you can feel your essence being as light as air. When you open your heart and know that you are already the all, you become one with the air and the wind and the warmth of the sun and the growing of the grass and the soils and the heartbeat of the land. Do you feel your consciousness coming alive, dear ones? Your sound within it, your song within it, your tones and your stories coming to life within this now eternal moment. How perfect you are in this heartbeat that God is within us all. Thank you, etheric chambers and the angels of tone, to remind us of our beauty in all things and the song that each and every one of us sing from our divine hearts when we are open and liberated through our own unconditional love of self, our unconditional compassion to self, and the forgiveness and healing that we do with ourselves and all those that we are entangled with in every now moment. And may we rise as a human collective and smooth out all that seems to be or appears to be rough around the edges. For love conquers all things. Love smooths and heals all things. Love is all things. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And just before we go for a break, we wanted to bring forward, we're going to talk about multidimensional parenting and more of the 2018 shifts that we're feeling come forward to us as we transition every day as a new day, new earthly reality that we're co-creating with one another. And multidimensional parenting and creating centeredness and balance and those beautiful moments of healing and awareness of your centeredness will be so key in further accelerations and further transitions of ascension energies. And really what it means to the changing family paradigm too. Everybody in my family is going through their own perspective of ascension, their own perspective of awakening. And it's truly unique to watch and to be a part of and to experience and allow it to be perfect in all moments. And so it's truly allowing yourself to create the perfection of all moments. Create that perspective and see where that takes you, because it's truly magical and really lets a lot of the pressure and the release go in many ways. And so thank you. And so after the break, we want to hear from you. We want to hear and create that sacred soul sharing that we often do in these beautiful healings and these vibrational healings and these vibrational teachings from the Christed consciousness of all that I am, as I offer my divine sacred heart to you and through me to you, those divine energies from the etheric chambers, from the divine heavenly councils, and the councils of light are also present. Thank you. And the archangels and ascended masters. Thank you. And some hybrid children today. Thank you, children. And so join us after the break, and we want to hear from you as far as allowing yourself to feel your eternal state of you and how you're sensing the consciousness around you, how you're attuning to it and waking up to it. It's all around and it's singing to you. So let's have some beautiful sacred soul dialogue on how you're awakening to the beautiful psychic gifts that are coming to greater attunement, greater sensing in every way, in thought, word, and deed, as well as your hearing, your sight, your intuitiveness, your intuitive knowing, all psychic gifts coming to a new level of creativity and exploration. So it's really, truly a beautiful path. So join us after the break, and we will talk more about beautiful earthly transitions and how we are all healing and creating new eternal now moments of perfection. Thank you.
You've been listening to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness with Joanna L. Ross. Live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. To explore, empower, understand, inspire, and further connect with this higher state of consciousness, please visit universalunity.ca. For more information on the host, Joanna L. Ross, please visit her KCOR Digital Radio Network show page, Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network. Broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51. Wait, that doesn't exist. This is the KCOR Digital Radio Network. Now for the news. Let go of the past and manifest the reality you desire. It's time to expand your consciousness and create a new enlightened transformational you by raising your vibrational frequency. We will talk about ETs, light ships, the ascending human, our ascending planet, visitations, and first conscious contact upon our new fifth dimensional Earth. Welcome to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness. It's time to activate a better you by embracing the white light of Source. Now your host and universal guide, Joanna L. Ross.
Thank you, and welcome back, oh Eternal One. Thank you, and welcome to our Sacred Soul family and our Sacred Soul sharing. And I appreciate this time with you every week because it allows not only our collective human family to expand as we share our sacred exploration, as we share our divine exploration of new human behaviors, new human gathering, new human communion, so too do we change the all. And I'm showing myself the threads of creation that we all exist within, as we've shown many times, beautiful threadings of energy, beautiful threadings of resonance and vibration. And we all exist within these beautiful threadings. And every time we come together to create sacred sharing, sacred communion, and you can choose to do this if you so desire, if you're excited, with your own families. And just have storytelling and sharing and letting go of electronic energies and reinstate that sacred sharing with souls, stories, soul sharing. And that's truly how I see our 2018 shifting more and more and more, letting go of many aspects of social media that kept us distracted from soul sharing, from beautiful entanglements with love and our eternal state of the all. And so please feel free to share your comments about how you've awakened to your eternal state of now, your multidimensional state of now, how you've sensed things opening up for you with the beautiful ascension. We call it symptomologies, but it's just transitioning into your Christed body, your Christed light body that awakes to everything, awakes to the all, because it's you. It's already your perfection. You're just allowing it through the healing of the resistance. The more you heal your resistance to you, the more you heal your lack of self, the more you heal and create those beautiful self-loving moments and self-forgiving and compassion moments, you're no longer resisting you. You're no longer resisting that Christed perfection that is already. So again, flowing within the understanding and centering and breathing in your already Christed perfection. Opening up your divine sacred heart to allow the Christed perfection to live through you. And that eternal state of you just comes forward and wants to play. And those soul threadings from all of those other quantum threads and those soul particles that are allowing you to feel and sense and really truly get ignited with your soul purpose just start coming to you. And these beautiful inspirations just come forward as if a beautiful play or a novel is being lived through you, because it is. That's the eternal now awakening. That's the eternal human in its spirited form, in all of its beauty and glory, the rainbow bridge that you are, the divine temple that you are, to carry the sacred emanations of Mother, Father, God, is experienced. And it's done through our moment for moment, knowing that all is well, all is perfect, and letting go of the old world limitations and the old world schedules and the old world dynamics that kept us so filtered in the same reception room, if you will, like my team was showing me. I was creating the same room for myself in the same house. But at any moment, anyone can choose to create a new room, vibrationally, a new vibrational reality at any moment. And it's part of, we call it ascension symptoms, and we'll talk a little bit about that because many have been moving through ascension symptoms in our multidimensional shifting. Sleep patterns really being affected, and I found it lately with me. I've been waking up at really profound times. I call it profound times because I'm waking up out of it feels like a really deep, nourishing sleep, and I'll wake up in a complete awake state. And that's used to happen, every now and then, but now it's happening like every other night, and I'm awakening in as if I'm, boom, boom, here I am there. It's like I'm popping in and out, consciously and physically, if you will. And I'm awakening with the intention to soak within a more expansive, compassionate me. And I'm reliving and I'm reorganizing how I've lived as a parent and as a mother and as a divine mother frequency that I choose to walk within now. And so I'm constantly shifting and transitioning and traversing these new light fields that I'm creating for myself, and I'm aware of it. I'm awakening within the middle of the night. I'm sensing, okay, I'd like to soak within this energy now. I'd like to try it this way now. So those are a natural part of the ascension symptoms. And what we mentioned at the beginning of the show, but we didn't go fully into, is these demarcation points that I've been sensing, and Tina and I were talking about it on the break, is these demarcation points for me, and this is my own interpretation, and every other light worker or channeler or teacher will have their own unique version and view, because they're with their own unique plan and version. But how I'm sensing it, for me individually and psychically and intuitively, as a visionary, these demarcations are transition points, very dramatic transition points, if you will, within the crystalline Christed grids of our planet. And I felt them before, but I'm feeling them more. I'm more aware that as I move about my daily life, I'm feeling as if what my daily routine was is no longer. And that's the quantum essence of Mother, Father, God. It's the quantum source creatorship, the etheric chamber coming through so that I get the wording right. These are the divine emanations of the source creatorhood, preparing not only Gaia, but also humanity to behave in different ways. And it's inspiring us to behave in different ways, to let go of schedules, to let go of have-tos, must-tos. And so in my own experience, I was getting up at a certain time and meditating and communing with Mother, Father, God. And I had my routine, if you will, my sanctuary, my routine that I created my communion with. Well, for the last couple of months, that's totally gone out the window. And nothing about my everyday has seemed every day. And I'm having to traverse these new grids because I'm very connected with Gaia. And when I sense something new has happened in the collective, I feel out of sorts. That's how I feel. I can sense it. And so that's how it has felt over the last couple of months, in particular since the eclipse, since the spring equinox. Drastically changing within the grids. And how it's allowing us, moment for moment for moment, this is the beauty and the elegance, right, from Source Creator coming through the etheric chambers so that we understand. These quantum light encodations and these flares and all that we are being gifted and embraced within are allowing us in all moments to know that we are eternally perfect in all moments. And we can let go of those things that defined us, the limitations that defined us. How we need to meditate, how long we need to meditate, what our meditations need to include and incorporate, and on and on and on and on and on. And truly allow the divine perfection of all that we are just to be. The more that we do this, the more that we will see our daily reality shift and change, and it will happen quite quickly. And we'll just see schedules don't need to be met and it'll all be okay, and we're just going to commune and share and gather. Because truly, there's no, I see down the road, there's no real need for anyone to really have to work. It'll be people moving about their life through their excitement. And more people have been doing that for the last 10 years, really. Creating home-based businesses and doing what they're excited to do. We've already seen it happen. It's not going to be new. You'll just be sensing and feeling it in new ways. And this is what these ascension symptoms are allowing us to truly breathe in and sense that, wow, we are truly quantum beings of light because you're tapping into the quantum field of the all. Your allness, your isness, your eternal state of oneness. And how that experience that I had with my daughter and my sons as well, everybody that I'm entangled in and I'm in communication with, I'm now sensing, if it's a moment of healing that I'm aware of, then my higher self and my quantum threads will bring that awareness to me, and it'll be like a quantum click within me. Yes, this is a healing. I've held an attitude or a judgment about this. And then I immediately shift and open to my eternal state of all and my love. And let that go. Transcend it. Move on. New light field. That's as quickly as it happens. And this is why so many people feel as if they're out of sorts with their meditation practices or their daily routines. Because daily routines are no longer daily routines. So let go of the definitions. Allow yourself to swim within the open eternal allness, the oneness. And be more fluid. You'll find it will help the stress and the anxiety, because I tend to clench up inside. That's the safety issue, the number 2 chakra and the number 3 chakra, is that safety issue with having to work through the commitments. The commitments I've held with scheduled and all these people we're supposed to meet and da-da-da. I mean, all those things that we've held within our daily human life that are truly, we're refining with these alignments, the full moon, solstices, everything that we're gifted in every moment. What is important? Where are your inner values? Where is your inner authenticity? And what are you excited about? That will be where you jump to in your next now moment. And so truly, moment for moment, what's important for me? What are my values in this now moment for who I am, what I exist within and what exists within me, and what is exciting for me to co-create within? And we will see more and more and more of this. And we will be challenging ourselves and bringing it forward within our own soul contracts, our daily unfolding, so that we can refine it and transcend it. Let it go and be the air moving through it. And this is why the alchemic understanding of all that we are as spirit, as matter, as passion, as divine loving invocation sent forward to creation in all of our diversity, so that each and every one of us come forward with our own unique stories. And in any one moment we can be the wind. Any one moment we can be the fire and the passion to create and ignite change. Any one moment we can just sit back and surrender into the allowance of our perfection. And be that healing essence of water and cleansing and purifying. Moving through the emotional fields and balancing all that we are. And so these are just some of the ascension symptoms, if you will, and the global and earthly ascension symptoms are no different. And so allow yourself to soak within the loving embrace that we are all held within, the loving divine support that we have from innumerable councils supporting our planet at this time. And the Galactic Federation is within the etheric chambers. Thank you, Galactic Federation. And they're allowing us to know that, oftentimes when we see great times of change, and it's like an amusement park. And there are those that are truly excited for the ride. There are those that are excited for the fast and bumpy rides. And there are those that are really just happy to sit and watch the grass grow. And this is why we see all things unfold in the way that it does, dear lighted ones, for it's the resonance that you hold within your heart that will determine what ride you're on. And are you truly allowing yourself just to be perfect in all moments? Come to the resonance of joy and love for who you are and exalt who you are. Why not? Why not celebrate? For is this not the season to celebrate? All seasons, all now moments. And you let go of what worries you and all the tasks and the to-dos. And soak within your eternal now moment of Mother, Father, God, threaded within all things. For you have allowed yourself an awakening, have you not, the most profound in human form, to sense and to know in some way that God is within. And are there any sacred sharings that anyone would like to come forward with their own profound awakening and unraveling and unfolding and unveiling of the God within? What synchronicity have you allowed yourself to tune in with? What profound moment of your own eternal state have you experienced yourself within? Have you heard the forest speak with you? Have you felt the water consciousness heal you and cleanse you? Have you felt the movement of the elementals in all life? Have you gifted yourself an awakening that's just beyond explanation? That is the God in all things. And there was a time, dear lighted ones, in which the mass consciousness would think discussions as this would be so far out, so far beyond, and yet here we are today in this sacred soul tribe gathering, in which your eternal souls spread across the universe and the multiverse and the omniverse of all that we are, coming together in quantum ways as we coalesce in love and light. For the humans that sit in the chairs, to take part in such discussions, allow themselves to open their most creative and profound lighted ways to know they are God. Did we ever think we would see such a day? Dear lighted ones, O eternal ones, of grace, of compassion, of forgiveness. Thank you, dear lighted ones, and thank you. The Galactic Federation was showing me a theme park, an outdoor theme park, and there was various rides on the theme park, and how each and every one of us in our own unique divine soul blueprint has gifted ourselves our own unique design and what we wanted to experience, and our own soul themes that we've come here to explore and to gift and receive from one another. And why it's easy for us to let go and not judge any one individual's path, because it's all eternal and required in this now moment. And we can sense our oneness within it. And that's what we said at the very beginning of our show, is with all these beautiful demarcations and how unique and new it will feel. And we don't want to say words that bring negativity into the unknown, because it's not what it is at all. It's very exciting. But it's taking ourselves out of the old patterns, taking ourselves out of human patterning and stepping into illuminated human potentials. Letting go of patterns. Because Christed essence, Christed light bodies, Christed being of humanity is for us to move moment for moment in our now excitement. That's it. In love and compassion, live within our now excitement. And so we don't really have to create patterns anymore. We let it go and be okay with it. And we see our oneness within it all. But it is a transition. It is something that I've been sensing in the coming ascension months and symptoms for those. How you're going to be sensing your everyday schedules, your everyday routines coming to you and showing themselves to you on what truly can be let go of, what things you've been hanging on to that need to be released, whether it's too many activities being planned or scheduled, relationships are being redefined and sorted, and so it's a part of our dynamic, our earthly dynamic. And these demarcations are what I'm sensing and what I was shown are new Christed grid potentials for us to anchor and create new excitements. I'll speak as an example from my behalf is that I love vibrational toning and vibrational healing. I offer it through when I open up to Source, and I offer it to those who so desire to entangle and dance with me and my energies and my teams and our teams. I use toning and singing and song and sounds, and it's a beautiful excitement that I have. And I also love Gaia in every way. And this is a part of what I am sensing will be the new now moment in which humanity in general will let go of the schedules and the have-tos and all that we've patterned ourselves around and truly create with these new grids and co-create with our consciousness, the omnipresence of all that we are with these new grid offerings, with these Christed all offerings in creative vibrational ways. And so I was showing myself vibrational toning as being a part of that and communing with Gaia and the elementals as a part of that. And that will be a new way that I'm just giving myself as an example, will create new human behaviors. And those resonances that I co-create with Gaia and those excitements that I co-create in toning upon our new property and the property that Gaia has gifted and God has gifted, they will go into with the intention, and those vibrations will go through creation and go through the omnipresence, and those will be attracted to co-create in kind. And so this is they're just showing me, this is an example through me so that I can explain it. How the coming years people will find themselves in their now moment excitements and moving on it. Because it just feels so much better than the limitations that we've been moving within, thinking that we had to do certain things or live in certain ways or, the social check boxes we've had to fit ourselves within. And that's why human paradigms are changing. The family paradigms are changing, socioeconomic and banking. I mean, all of that, we'll see dramatic changes in the coming months and coming years. And it's our consciousness that is driving it. And how excited and how beautiful are we in this perfect now moment to do that. And so thank you. But we wanted to also talk about multidimensional parenting because it's really important. It's a part of my soul path and it's a part of my excitement to truly soak within how do we move through these beautiful transitioning times, and in every moment we're traversing new grids, new energies, new human potentials, but not to think of how we co-create with one another in behavioral ways, whether it be family or friends or work family circles, social circles, caregiver to child, parent to child. It doesn't matter what behavior we're talking about because it's all one. Whether you're talking about a spouse or a relationship or friends, multidimensional parenting can link in with all social circles because we're transitioning. And what I have found more recently is the concern in our household with electronics and screen time, and how certain parenting behaviors and beliefs that I've had in the past weren't working. for our family balance and our family dynamic and the boundaries that we've set for our family, for wellness and health and balance. And so I've taken a look and a redesign, if you will, on what feels good for me, because I've changed so much. I found that my boundaries are changing, and there's certain things that I feel good about, and certain things I don't feel good about anymore. And so I'm changing, and I'm traversing that. And so too are all my kids and everybody that I'm socially circling with. And so doing regular check-ins with your boundaries, because you know that when your boundaries are not being respected, or you don't have any boundaries at all, because I'm one to speak, I've experienced that. I had very little boundaries in every one of my multidimensional bodies, physical, mental, emotional, etheric. And so really, truly learning as a master to create those boundaries that feel good for you in any one moment. Because as I said, we're traversing new light patterns, new light fields, and it will be good to check in with yourself regularly, and also allow your children to know that they have this empowerment and mastery within themselves to check their own boundaries. Because boundaries get stepped on and crossed all the time in the human behavior that we have been moving within eons. It just has been, because we've been unaware of our multidimensional bodies. So, the mental and emotional games that we've played with one another, all of those, all the things that we've done, and we've played the roles in all sides, all of the choices that we've come here to learn and transcend. It will be evident in how you set your boundaries. And as you ascend and as you transcend and become your more Christed God self, you'll sense your boundaries in any one of your multidimensional bodies. When they're being crossed, you'll know it right away. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Whoa. Or even when your etheric body, your energy bodies, your psychic abilities, you're tuning and sensing into more. Therefore, part of setting boundaries in your health and wellness for yourself is what we talked about before, doing regular clearings and centering and breath work and grounding. And so that's all a part of your health and wellness as a multidimensional being. And we talk about that in our monthly Sacred Temple teaching classes, because it's about walking forward as the divine temple of light that you are, knowing what you exist within, what exists within you, and how you can co-create with wellness and similitude. And not feel as if you're being thrown off a wave every now and then when you get jostled around because of the accelerations and the boundaries weren't set, or the inner knowing wasn't clarified, or that inner relationship with Mother, Father, God wasn't known or connected with. And that's how it feels. It feels as if you're being jostled around when you're not centered and grounded, or confused in what decisions you should make because you're not centered and grounded. And that happens to us all. That's how we understand and know, okay, well, let's center and ground and breathe. Then in the next moment, you feel, wow, that feels good. I can go through my day now. Especially those that are intuitively, well, everybody's going to be opening up to it, really. You're an empath. You're intuitively, energetically, taking on so much. And it really feels exhausting. It feels as if, you're kind of being bombarded energetically and psychically. That's how it can feel. And why creating daily recognition and daily awareness of your multidimensional bodies, clearing, breath work, and grounding is so important. And so multidimensional parenting is bringing these concepts into the awareness of the household, of what values are changing in your household, and have that be okay. Because oftentimes when we're in family dynamics, or even relationship dynamics, or relationship circles, when we sense things going through profound change, it brings up fears, and it's meant to, because those fears are linked with those soul particles that need to be brought in and loved, because they were working off old paradigms of thought and belief patterns, or ego, or lives that were cut short and unfinished, or life lessons that did not get resolved. It doesn't matter what it could be, what that Akashic bruise was. But when we go through profound transitional changes within the grids and within our ascension speaking, it sometimes puts us in those moments of fear when, I don't know what's going on, what do I do? Because we're so used to being led by our ego, and the ego is all about maintaining safety. Got to do this, got to make a checklist, got to make sure I get this done. That's all ego. That keeps us safe in those limiting, linear perspectives of time and space. However, we're beyond that now. But it's just to understand that when we're moving through these ascension, profound changes in these ascension times, to also know that clearing and checking your boundaries and having your kids check their boundaries and knowing that they're transitioning their relationships just as you are. And so to have compassion and openness and create communion and storytelling and sharing in replace of electronic time. Because we have been so distracted with the technologies that we've had since the 90s. I think that's when, I remember as a kid, we didn't have technology. We didn't have the internet. So, it's a fairly new technology for our human collective. But are we using it to our advantage or disadvantage? And it's all about balance. How much is too much? And that's what every parent asks themselves. So we've gone through major changes in our household due to the overuse and abuse of electronic time and screen time, because it does affect the health. It does affect the balance of the multidimensional body. To allow yourself to create other options that create health and wellness, that create creative potentials for the kids to explore, for even one another to explore if it's in a social relationship. Because anywhere you go, you see the distraction between the electronics and the devices as opposed to human conversation and connection. And when I took my daughter to the hospital about a month ago, and she hurt her wrist, and we were in the waiting room most of the night, and I really woke up to how much electronic use with kids of all ages. And every parent asks themselves, how much is too much? And so I wrote an article a couple of weeks ago, and I think there's some audios, and we've got some learning materials and resources within our resource center that will come online in January when our new website launches, Universal Light, Wisdom, and Healing Centers. And we're going to have lots of free resources, lots of audio and videos for transitioning and traversing such times of change. Because parents all over, now that they've gone through awakening, are seeing, well, those things aren't okay with me anymore, and those boundaries and things that I thought were okay are not okay anymore. Because you're more awake within who you are as an organic being of divine living light. And you can just sense and know within your gut, within that beautiful essence of your chakra inner systems of light and energy, they're telling you that that's just too much. That's not okay. Or you see your children behaving and creating patterns in ways that are unhealthy. And so those are all those parental cues and symbols that allow you to realign to a more expansive and connected way with spirit, and aligning with God in the way of who are we and what's important, what are our values. And so the amount of screen time and the amount of electronic use has definitely played an effect in our family's exploration of ascension and what is important for us. So we've gone through huge changes, and I've written a couple of articles. And there are some studies for those who so desire about screen time in children and the effects that it has on decision making, the effects that it has on their well-being. And so if you so desire, just you can go to what feels right. You'll be intuitively drawn. But just know that we're hitting these crucible moments in our human collective, and everything that we've ever done will be challenged, and we'll say, well, this doesn't feel right for me anymore. I'm going to change. And that's with banking, education, what we used to consider as entertainment. Everything will be aligned with our consciousness of our heart. More and more so. It's not going to change overnight, obviously, because it's taken eons for us to create this. But these are things that we can expect, and why you see them manifest in your everyday life. So breathe and celebrate and say, yeah, I'm transcending here. I've manifested this experience for a better way for us to communicate, a better way for us to share our stories, to share our soul blueprints, so that we can both feel as if we're on the same page, and we can both respect and love one another in our soul themes and our soul exploration. And that's really what I'm finding parenting is now, is to really communicate at that soul level and that eternal oneness, because I'm one in that eternal engagement. And I found that helped me today, is when I really went to that eternal oneness and I communicated from that oneness point of view. I say, I'm one with you. I desire this not for my benefit, but for the health benefit and the wellness. And as a parent and as a guardian, there's certain boundaries that we have to have in place so that our children have the right platform to grow and flourish. And I found it really helps when I've explained to my children too about the screen time, because they're really excited to play all the games that they're excited to play, and have their social connection on the various social platforms that they're connected with. And most of the time it's just their games and their puzzle games and things like that. But, I position it in a way that, it's no different than, allowing them to eat sugar or junk food. It's the same concept of boundaries. And so allow yourself to move through these changing times and to be okay with changing, to be okay with, well, that used to be okay for me now, but it's not okay with me anymore. I want to set boundaries that are healthy for everyone so that everyone can grow and flourish within the environment that is conducive for love and respect and communion and all the things that are now important to us. And that's up to each and every individual to sort out for themselves, right? To go within and say, well, what's important for me? What are my boundaries? What are my values now? Because our values are completely different than they used to be a year ago, and that's why everything in our social society is changing. Entertainment, the movies, all of these things are changing because of our consciousness and the values we hold as a collective. And so too will it ripple through to the sands and the soils and every particle that Gaia is, because Gaia feels our desire and our ache for harmony and unity. She loves the essence when we gather and we dance just to be enjoyed, just to dance with her. Or we walk within the forest and we just open up our hands and our heart to commune with the elemental frequencies and all that she offers. These are ways that our values will change. We are valuing our entanglement with creation. We are valuing our eternal state of allness. We are valuing who we are as multidimensional beings of divine living light, and we value this human experience. And so you can allow yourself to see not only the ascension symptoms be driven from the changing values and consciousness of your human state, but also to the collective state, because we're all one. It's all the same. You're not separate from anything. But this will be the ongoing theme for 2018. And how we're all traversing new light fields of play. And there'll be grid shifts and grid changes so that we can take the maximum opportunity to create within these energies that Mother, Father, God are gifting and the omnipresence is offering for us. And it will include what I was sensing with my toning specifically. I'm just giving this as an example again, but how many will be awoken to their multidimensional shamanic gifts, and it dancing and singing and movement with land consciousness, with elemental consciousness, devas and fairies, and even in the water as well. When I was in Hawaii this summer, I was practicing toning in the water, and it's quite an incredible experience and different and unique and diverse as opposed to toning on land. And so I truly felt my body and my consciousness communing and awakening and entangling with the water consciousness and all of the aspects of life in the water, and they can feel you, make no mistake about that, and it can be felt throughout our whole universe. And so these are types of gifts that will come to you and be exciting for you. And I didn't really, I was excited to get in the water because I love water. I've always loved to swim. As a kid, I was always very exploratory in the water. But this one day that I went to the beach, I just went out into as far as I could go, and I was basically floating. And the waves were quite big. We went to a surfing beach, and the waves were quite big. And I just laid afloat, and I began to tone. And I could feel the consciousness bubbles beneath my body in the water, reacting to my tones that I was doing above the water. But I knew that the tones were emanating through my multidimensional fields, and it could be felt through the rippling of the water and through my intent. And I was connecting with the cetaceans from Sirius B, the pod that I connect with, as well as aquatic energies that I entangle with when I'm here in Calgary. And I just send out intention just to commune with aquatic energies, with water consciousness, or with my cetacean family, or with my bird family and the Pleiades. So whatever it is that your intention or your excitements are, will be a part of these coming ascension symptoms that will be awakening. That's the creative play. That's the values that you'll see shift and change or come alive for you. You'll just create a value, or you just create an excitement that, wow, dancing is really important to me. And it's a value that you really hold dear. It's like a you just got to do it. It's an importance for you. And you'll make it part of your everyday life, because that value, that essence of energy within you, that God communion, helps you co-create what you're here to co-create, helps your blueprint unfold as it should. And so trust it. And so I'd never had an excitement to tone in water, but I did in Hawaii. And it was very beautiful. I mean, I just love Hawaii and the people in Hawaii, and the energy there. It's just an incredible place to be, and to be awake as a consciousness being, and to entangle with all the beautiful energies that are always communicating. So it's truly a lovely place to be. But you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your shower, in your bathtub. You can do it at the pool. You can do it any aspect of consciousness water, because remember, all aspects of creation are holographically held within. And as you intend through the divine sacred heart of all that you are, in any activity that you do, connects and links with the all simultaneously. And this is what we're saying, these new grids, these new demarcations, you will sense through your intuitive refinements, through your multidimensional refinements, through the refinements that your teams are doing with you and that your higher self is activating for you, and your DNA activations, you will feel it. And so I'm just giving you a precognition, if you will, as to what 2018 can open up for many. You'll feel your multidimensional quantumness in more ways, sensing and hearing and knowing and feeling, and definite hearing, your multidimensional hearing, and the buzzing, the high-pitched ringing and the buzzing, opening up more of the multidimensional portals of communication. There is a chakra that is a chakra portal, a multidimensional chakra portal that's held right at the hairline, the very center of your forehead. And that is a multidimensional portal that I have felt over the last, probably 3 months, since Peru again. And I felt it, and it's just a beautiful slight vibration, and you'll feel it in a spiraling motion when you're opening up visionary and galactic, intergalactic light language, multidimensional hearing, sensing, knowing. All of these are portals of communication. And again, we've talked about that in other shows. Our abilities to communicate will be in different ways. And so I'm showing myself glyphs and stories within glyphs. And that will all come to greater awareness in discoveries. Specifically, they're showing me scientific discoveries as well. So I think what they're saying is that the scientific discoveries that we're going to see in 2018 will be more validation for those that require validation. I mean, some of us don't need validation because we experience it. But for those that require validation, there will be scientific discoveries that will prove consciousness in ways that go far beyond the limitations that we've been living within, which is wonderful, because for those of us that speak about it and teach about it, those validations, for those that require it, to truly go within and let go and release those limitations or those Akashic beliefs. And so that will be on the horizon as well. And so that's wonderful. But part of the multidimensional parenting is creating boundaries, health and wellness boundaries, the foods and how we care for our bodies, with downtime, with silent time, with mindfulness time. And so we're going to be having resources available to those who so desire. And we also have our Crystalline Children's blog on Blogger, on Google. And so you can connect with those. I think I try and put out an article once a week, because it's really a place where I can allow all of my parenting exploration to hopefully, for those who so desire, assist others. And some things have worked and some things haven't. But this is how we're all traversing new light fields. And nobody really knows how things are going to unfold. You just open with your heart and know that it's coming from a loving place. And you go with what feels right at the time. I mean, that's what any parent can do. We're only coming to the table with what we have in any one moment. And it's our best and it's perfect. And we learn through it and we grow through it and we become a new human paradigm and a new human family and a new human collective from it. And I tell my kids that often. I mean, I teach about energy and I teach it because it's my passion and I love the vibrational healing and connecting others with their innate Christed essence and their innate God self. But I don't absolutely know all the answers. I don't. I'm going through it as part of my life lessons as well. So I've created veils for myself. I've created these versions and aspects and perspectives of my children and all of these things that I'm here to transcend and work through because I've co-contracted with them to do so. And so too have they with me. And so I understand that and I get that. And so I own it and I claim it right away. I don't know how this is going to unfold, but it feels right. It feels like we're on a level playing field here and I feel like I'm being cared for and you're being cared for and we're moving through this together. And that's the best we can do in any moment. And I know that God is with us and that's where my trust goes, within myself and God. So, and that's the eternal oneness that we all carry. That's the eternal state of now that we all carry. It's all good. But 2018 will be more traversing. It will be more new light fields. It'll be feeling as if you don't know what you're doing in any one moment. And that's okay because we've always lived within a linear perspective of time and space. So we're stepping outside of that, as we've talked about in many of our classes and many of our private healings. And you see this one perspective of reality that's off the treadmill. And that's what 2018 offers, if you will. It's that doorway to get off the treadmill. And you can feel it and sense it. And your kind of big toe is stuck in the old world paradigm, if you will. And the rest of you is on this new portal of potential. And it's really fluid. And it's like air. And it's like surrender. And it's like soaking within the wind. And just feeling yourself move with it. It's all good. And so boundaries have been big for the multidimensional parenting and multidimensional relationships in general. Because as we go through Akashic healings, make no mistake about this, as we go through Akashic healings and you heal and love thyself, you're energetically, quantumly recreating yourself. And so what used to be comfortable in a relationship is no longer comfortable right now, and how, say, one another talks to one another, or how the words that are used, or the tone that's used, or whatever it may be. You'll see these behaviors and these patterns come to the forefront for you and yourself and your higher aspects and your God self to go within and say, what are my values now? What are my boundaries now? How do I feel about this now? And this is something that we haven't taught our children, and we weren't taught when we were kids, that we are multidimensional beings. We're not only physical, but we're emotional, mental, and etheric. Once we heal and we bring into similitude and balance and synchronicity all of these energetic systems of the lower four bodies, the dynamic temple that we are, we then open up to our galactic and cosmic bodies, which will be our another human evolution. And that's when we'll be using transition stations and transition education schools, which I've had visions of, preparing us for when we transcend and we heal and we bring wholeness and we bring love and eternalness, to these moments that we're manifesting. We open up our grander bodies, our grander soul bodies. That's how eternal we are. It's never ending. It's infinite. And it's a beautiful and elegant dance. And if it's any one thing that I've wanted to bring forward in anything that I've ever offered, is to truly bring the reverence and the humility and the elegance of how beautiful this quantum dance is. And if that's one thing that all of our work can be known for, then I would be so happy because it's truly a beautiful and it's such an elegant ride that we exist within. And to know that we're in communication with the elementals, to know that Mother, Father, God are with us within every breath, to know that the archangels and the masters and our celestial teams are within our households, within our hearts, within our breath. I mean, it truly allows one to sense and be that eternal state of godliness, which is our birthright. And so thank you. And so that was quite lovely. It was a bit of humble reflection about me as a mother, a humble reflection about me as an intuitive healer and vibrational teacher, and the many beautiful fields that I dance upon and I play with my kids, and how these challenges are and these opportunities are changing each and every one of us. And so I bring them forward because the human collective, obviously, I tap into the human collective as well when I'm moving through my own personal stuff. And it helps me know that, okay, well, this is coming up for others, because I can't be the only mother that's concerned about screen time, and it's part of my sharing, it's part of my sacred soul sharing, to know that that there's things that we can do to shift the energy in our houses. There's things we can do to shift the energy in our relationships that we have defined as not working, and perhaps it's just a new perspective, and creating that eternal oneness, and just releasing the expectations on what you thought it should look like or feel like. And so truly taking ourselves out of the linear limitations and the space-time thing, and how we've defined relationships, how we've defined family structure, how we've defined, all things. And that's what 2018 will bring to the forefront for all of humanity, so that we can really, truly create anew. And that's what Ascension is all about. So thank you. 2018 is going to be another exploration about, self-clarity, self-knowing. Who are you? What do you exist within? Creating refined boundaries for what feels good for you. The devotion to your own sacred path, and how you move about that sacred path. So it will be more of valuing and honoring thyself and loving thyself, going deeper within that soulful relationship with you and God, that soulful relationship with your soul purpose, and what excites you to co-create with others. And knowing that all within is all that will be manifested without. So as your internal relationship is healed and loved, so too will all of your external relationships. As within, so without, as above, so below. And how joyous it is. And so that's part of the multidimensional parenting that I've experienced this week. And if you'd like to go to our Crystalline blogspot and tune in there, I usually have an article a week. But also, too, this goes with all relationships, because we're all multidimensional beings. And it crisscrosses to intimate relationships. It crisscrosses to divine complement relationships. It crisscrosses in all aspects of our human behavior, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're transcending into new behavioral potentials, new behavioral light fields, really, is what I see. So thank you, dear lighted ones. And remember that we have our winter solstice, December 21st class, and we're going to be connecting with the etheric chambers. We're going to be connecting with the divine heavenly councils, and we're going to do a beautiful vibrational healing, a beautiful vibrational clearing. And I've got a piece of, I've got an article coming out that will help those who prefer to read vibrational tips. It will be on how to clear your energy fields, how to center and ground within the pillar of light, so that you can move about these accelerated frequencies in a more of a harmonious and centered and balanced way. So I've got that coming out probably by the end of this coming week. And that will be, I'll probably post it on Facebook for those who so desire. And then it usually goes to our blog. And all of the resources will be found January 10th will be the new launching of our website, Universal Unity Light, Wisdom, and Healing Centers. And it will also be offering live events that we are going to be moving about Gaia, and creating some live events and small speaking engagements. So if you're excited about us coming to your hometown and you want to help organize a small speaking event or a vibrational healing afternoon or evening, just feel free to contact us. We're ready to get out there with the people this coming year of 2018 and truly experience Gaia in new ways with all of you. So my heart is filled with love and excitement for each and every one of you. And every time we gather, we create new ripples of light and new ripples of love and potentiation for our human collective. And may we all move within these beautiful energies with grace and compassion and forgiveness. For all paths are required, all paths are needed, and all aspects are held within our eternal oneness of one another. And so as I am, so too is the all, and we're one within it all. So thank you, dear lighted ones. And we have the class on the 21st, and there is also our monthly prayer. Every third Sunday, we have a monthly prayer, and it's free. Those who so desire get a link, and they register and they log on. And for an hour, we create light and loving vibrations, and we sit within this essence of stillness and oneness and solitude for an hour, and that ripples out to the all. So those who so desire that want to experience and co-create in prayer, in sacred thought and sacred intent, feel free to log on to our website. It's held under the Sacred Temples teaching page on our main page. And we are going to be having more resources and guidance for those who so desire on multidimensional parenting and shifting within these new relationship patterns and light fields. And so we're really excited about all the things that are coming in 2018. It's going to be spectacular. And we will be returning to Japan. So thank you to all those who so desire to join us in Japan and create a beautiful 2-week learning experience and healing experience. And we had a great time in Japan last year, so we're really excited to go back. So thank you so much. This is Joanna from Universal Unity, and it has been a beautiful experience to co-create and commune with all of you once again. And know that you are loved and dearly supported from the divine center heart of all that you are. Mother, Father, God are with you in all ways. So allow yourself to be centered and grounded within all moments, within breath, and know your eternal oneness of all things. Thank you and namaste.
You've been listening to Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness with Joanna L. Ross. Live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. To explore, empower, understand, inspire, and further connect with this higher state of consciousness, please visit universalunity.ca. For more information on the host, Joanna L. Ross, please visit her KCOR Digital Radio Network show page, Universal Unity, New Earth Consciousness.
You're listening to the all-new KCOR, The Core, broadcasting from Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. Oh yeah, in a little place called Area 51.